So why don't we start by just hearing from each of you how you got your start in editing. Jim, why don't you go first?
I'll go ahead. I'll make this as brief as possible. I graduated school, Emerson College in Boston. I went to LA and started working on a little movie. And I found my way into the cutting room and I met some really great people there. And they kind of took me under their wing a bit and showed me how to use all the equipment that was there at the time. And from that, I just kind of worked and I assisted some really great editors, Paul Hirsch and Mary Jo Markey, and my mentor, a guy named Alan Heim, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. And he brought me on a Nick Cassavetes movie called Alpha Dog. I was his assistant. And Nick went on to another movie after we finished Alpha Dog called My Sister's Keeper. But Alan was unavailable to do that show. So Nick said, well, hey, Jim Flynn can do it. Let me bring him on. He'll get it started. And then Alan, when he's available, will come on. So I went and did My Sister's Keeper, and that was my first movie. And then I've been kind of hustling to keep doing it because I just love it.
Hey, my name's Greg Evans. And yeah, the way I got in is a little different than Jim's. I basically was on the set. I was originally coming to LA to probably be a writer and a director, hopefully, but I was on the set of a Nickelodeon commercial and I got hurt on set. And I was a PA at the time. I think I was like 23 or 24. And they basically told me I could never work on set again because I had nerve damage down my leg. And it was a workman's comp injury. So actually the state of California, like the rehabilitation for the state of California, they like, hey, we'll retrain you for a new job. And I was like, well, I don't want to be a plumber or whatever. Like, I don't know. What do you mean? And they said, well, we'll send you to editing school. So they sent me to an Avid school where I learned how to use the Avid. I did like a boot camp there where I learned how to edit. And then I basically moved into commercials from there and then worked my way up to get into TV, eventually getting my break into TV on Prison Break as an assistant. And then I cut there, and then I've been cutting on drama televisions basically ever since.
Thanks, Greg. Kyle?
So I started off as a post PA on Grey's Anatomy, and pretty much haven't left the Shondaland family since then. I met a lot of great people there. The editorial team was like super helpful. Yeah, I kind of learned a lot just on the fly there. I did some stuff in reality for a while before I eventually came back into Shondaland and actually assisted Greg on Scandal. And then I just worked on Scandal for like 4 or 5 years, moved up from assistant to editor, and have just been editing since.
So my start was a little different. I ended up graduating from college and getting a job at a television station in my local city, which is in Canada. And I actually did slow-mo replay and sports for a really long time. So I traveled around just doing sports, editing teasers and athlete profiles and stuff like that. And then ended up cutting my first movie when I came back to Calgary and with a producer that I knew. And that was it. I started cutting drama from that point on.